And hello everybody! I just thought I'd keep everyone up to date on how it's going noobing around in EVE Online. This game is massive and so complicated, it just warps your brain into mush occasionally. You think you're gonna understand it, and then it just overloads you with information until your brain just oozes out all that information again. So, not much is going in, but occasionally I do get through a little bits of information, so I am slowly becoming less noobish. But that's on a scale of 1 to 10 noobish. I'm still minus 99 in the case of EVE Online, so we've got a lot of work to do. This week I went through quite a lot of the Sisters of Eve epic mission arc. This is probably the next step on from the agent missions, where you've got a lot more in terms of combat to do, and just combat to learn and optimize and all that kind of stuff. It also asks a lot more of you in terms of challenge, how many enemies are present, all that kind of stuff. If you know what you're doing, I'm guessing this mission would be terribly babyish easy, but I died a couple times, so that's how good I am right now. I just couldn't figure out, which parts to actually put in my ship, all that kind of stuff. And from what I read and what I understand now, I wasn't really building tanky enough. You got to get those little shield extender things, and they help immensely. And of course, getting a better type of weapon, which I don't really have yet. I think it's the hybrid weapons. Right now, I'm just using those pew pew Gatling type guns, so need to do better. But I thought they were going to reward a lot more, but so far each mission is kind of, a couple 100k ISK, and that's if you do them in time. But in terms of, the other gameplays out there, it's really not that rewarding for it. It's no extra ships or no extra parts that you're getting, no extra fittings for your ships, that kind of stuff. So, just throws you out there and just gives you a bit of ISK, and, it's the whole mission grinding thing. I'm sure some people are into it, but I don't know, that's just not my bag, baby. It did teach me a lot more about, combat. Effectively locking on better. I actually found out you can lock on more than one person now. That is amazing. That makes things so much better. You can lock on 4 things total. So I'd lock up a few of the things nearby, kill one, and it would cycle to the next on its own. I just have to click the weapons now and then. Brilliant. That makes it amazing. I can't believe I wasn't doing that sooner. And the whole targeting just makes, orbiting certain areas easier as well. You can, you know who you're going to attack next, you know who you want to stay around, that kind of thing. So, I know it really helped immensely understanding this. So, at least getting more combat experience has been well worth it, I think. After finishing those, though, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to do some other stuff. So, at first I thought, maybe I'll make some money, hauling goods and stuff around. There was a few components that I wanted as well that I hadn't got yet, and they were cheaper and a few systems down, so I hopped on, set the destination, put on the autopilot, went away for a bit, and when I came back, I was dead. Turns out some guys were camping a low-sec security station, and I didn't realize I was actually going into low-sec space. Oopsie. And at the time when that explosion happened, I was carrying basically my entire $8 million worth of savings in parts. So that was amazing. I was very happy with that. But it's one of these things with EVE. It's those moments like that I'm guessing some people will fail at. But, others, like myself, you take that, learning from experience. You learn from your failures. That is definitely one of my failures so far. So from now on, I'll be, more careful about which sectors I'm going into, whether I'm going to those security space. Being a bit more careful when I am, scanning ahead. Those kind of tips that, you really do need to be aware of when you're playing EVE. Especially, tiptoeing away from the newbie areas, because those big capital ships and stuff, they kind of protect you up there, especially in the 0.8 range and 0.7. Even further out, you can still maybe have them at least kill the person that killed you, but if you're in 0.4 like I was, you're kind of screwed. And there was a couple of them too. I think one of them was tractoring while the other big rogue ship, ROKH? I don't know the ship name. One of those just plugged me full of holes, and it didn't take very long. It shredded me. So, after that, I needed to make some more money, so I started mining. I know, the most boring, mind-numbing job you could probably do in Eve, is mining. The gameplay I've heard, basically making noobs like me want to quit. I'm okay with it. I've got my set goals that I'm working towards, and I know it kind of helps mining. And it's definitely, you're making ISK a lot faster than I would just say doing mission running right now. I haul in, about 1 million every half an hour, what it is. I think something. No, not even half an hour. How long? I think a cycle takes about 15 minutes from flying there, drilling up, and then flying back. So it makes a decent profit that way, and you can quickly fill up your bank to get on with doing what you want to do, I guess. So doing that for, I think it was most of Sunday, I made quite a few million. I bought a few more skill books that I really needed and I wanted to work towards, and just generally building up my bank for when I actually do want to go exploring in nullsec, of course, because I'm adventurous like that. I know, I just wanted to look at more of those relic sites and certain data sites and all that kind of stuff. So, and I heard there's no NPCs in nullsec either, which will make it so much easier for a noob like me, because I've gone wormhole space ones and I've gone a few of the lower sec sites, and those NPCs, they just shred you so quickly. They just gun you down, missiles flying everywhere, lasers popping you in. That was nearly one of my deaths as well. I think I was only on 3 parts of hull left before I got to warp out of there. And it happened in seconds too. That was very quick. So that would have been my 5th, ship pop in Eve. So I think 4 is not too bad for a week, maybe. I don't know. I think a lot of people wouldn't actually lose a ship in their first week of Eve, but I kind of just I don't know. I'm not really safe in how I play. And that's how I play though. That's what I enjoy. Right now I'm mining some of the low sec sites. That's where, the better ore is. That's where you're making more money per trip. A lot more. And I figured out that if I do lose a ship, I've made a lot more to buy another ship anyway, plus fittings, and still have made a ton of extra profit in the process. So, I don't know, it's kind of worth it just venturing out into those more dangerous areas. And if you're careful enough, if you, watch what you're doing, like been watching that local chat to see who kind of pops in. If someone pops in, checking their information, seeing if they're wanted, the bounties on them, what their standings are, all that kind of stuff, just to determine if they're out to gank. And usually they're not, but you do get a few reds and you're like, shit, I better bail ass out of here. And you do. But no, that's been okay. I finally figured out how to use drones as well, which has helped when mining. So I was trying to have them in my inventory on the ship and then using those, what are they, the probe launchers to actually get the drone out. In my mind, they were the same thing, drones and probes. They do the same kind of job, scanning and doing stuff, but you actually have to have a ship with a drone bay to use drones. Makes sense, I know, but I hadn't actually seen anything like that before, so it's kind of cool. And yeah, you just send them out when there's ships nearby. They pew them down in most cases, or in some cases, those capital pirate ratters or whatever they're called. So you just have to jump out of there and go mine somewhere else for a little bit. So I've been looking at the market a lot more. I know, spreadsheets and all that, I'm making the worst of it. I've been looking at spreadsheets in Eve. Just what you can mine where, and the market values in each market of those materials. So I figured out Kermite was probably my best guess while I'm in Minmatar. Minimatar? Mamabatar. That system area. Because it's the 0.4 resource and I can get it into a lot of the stations really quickly. Found a nice quiet place to mine it, so pretty happy with that. So I don't know, I think next weekend I'm going to do a lot of exploring. I should have made a reasonable amount of money by then. And I should have a lot of my first edition cloaking skills by then too, which will make searching in enemy territory a lot easier. So that's my adventures for this week. Oh, I explored a wormhole as well. I had no idea what I was doing. Went into a wormhole, scanned around, found a few more wormholes, and a relic site that nearly, like I said, destroyed me. But I got told that I was actually in wormhole space, which is not normal space, like separate from space, so it's its own entire thing. And enemies in wormhole space are a lot more dangerous. So they've got that going for them, and I'll steer clear for now. But I've learned something. I think that's how I'll be using to get to, say, nullsec eventually. Just go into a wormhole somewhere, just go through a couple more, see where I end up. I know the elitists and people knowledgeable about Eve can probably look at a wormhole and see where it's going to go to. There's little colours and areolas. Not areolas, that's a nipple. Areolas? Areolas? What are those things? The little aura that comes around them. They kind of indicate where a wormhole will go. I don't know about that stuff yet. I looked at it. I don't understand it. I'm sure I'll get it eventually, but we'll have some fun exploring anyway. And if you have any questions or just ideas about what I should be doing in Eve, tips, notes, call me a noob, whatevs, leave a comment. Adios!